Namaskar. And also today, Kublai. So where are we? I'm forgetting where are we. I think we are moving so much along the length and the breadth of our beautiful country that I'm actually beginning to forget. Yesterday we were in this amazing city, the oldest, the most ancient living city of India and the world, Varanasi. And here we are today. We're going to come to you today live from Guwahati, and we are going to take you through the beautiful green, verdant areas of India, the beautiful northeast of India. My co-panelists today, Orijit, Purkash, and Shreya, are going to talk to us and are going to show us some beautiful images of villages in Assam and the villages of Meghalaya. I'm not going to tell you the details on the villages, but I am going to say a few other things about the amazing state of Assam. If you haven't been there, I'm sure after today's presentation, you are going to book your tickets soon. But I also understand that you must be getting so confused. Should we go to Mahabalipuram? Amalapuram was so beautiful. Should we go to Varanasi because that was equally beautiful? Delhi was amazing. Where to go? I'm sure you're going to need our help very soon in planning your travels, but keep watching the webinars with us and keep supporting us the way you are already doing so. But if you are planning to go to Assam, then today, again, for Assam, as I said the same for Varanasi yesterday, we shall be able to showcase only a very small element through a webinar. We are just kind of whetting your appetite that you are going to research more on these areas. Assam is known for its wildlife tourism, the Kaziranga National Park, the Manas National Park. These are only some of the things that I can think of. And of course, the Kamakhya Devi Temple in Guwahati. I'm sure many of us have gone there. So then next time you are there, do remember to go and see some of the amazing villages and the tea plantations, the silk. I did manage to find something from Assam with me today. So I'm happy to be wearing something crafted, I'm sure, beautifully by one of the craftsmen in the very villages, perhaps, that we are going to see today. And from Assam, we are going to move further east to Meghalaya. The Sanskrit translation, and I'm sure it's a loose one, is the abode of the clouds. I was already feeling in clouds when I read that. And there's so much about Meghalaya. It, of course, has the Asia's cleanest village, which I'm sure Orijit and Shreya will be showcasing to you on. Meghalaya also is one of the 7 sister states of the Northeast. The place is so amazing. And I think in the times of Corona, in many ways, is it not time for us, the civilization who we think that we are very developed as a world, is it not time for us to reboot, recalibrate? I think that's one reason why we should be going to the beautiful part of India to remember that hasn't humanity created way much of footprint? And somewhere, isn't this the nature's way of reminding that we've been misusing our Mother Earth and that we need to preserve? The whole talk of sustainability, is it going to only remain a talk? Or are we going to realize after the corona is behind us, and I'm sure it shall be very soon, but in the meantime, should we not be thinking that where did we all start at as a human civilization? And where are we today? And why are we where? I think it's the nature's way of reminding us of so many things. But I'm not going to talk about all that today. In the coming webinars, we are going to continue to bring you the amazing sights of India and are also going to encourage you to see the beautiful India, the Dekho Apna Desh. Have that feeling, I'm sure. Have your hands full of itineraries. That's what we want you to do. Because somewhere it is said that the world is a book, and those who do not travel read only a page. Saint Augustine said that more than 2000 years back, and I think it still holds true for us. So let me not come in the way of our presenters today, Orijit and Shreya. Please take us to the beautiful lands of Assam and Meghalaya. Thank you.
Namaskar. Khubli. Welcome to the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India's Dekho Apna Desh webinar. At the outset, we would like to thank Meenakshi Madam, Rupinder Madam, Nangarajan Sir, and the entire team of Ministry of Tourism and National E-Governance Division NEGD, Department of Electronics and Information Technology. We welcome you to today's webinar, Northeast India. Experience the exclusive villages with focus on Assam and Meghalaya. Today, we'll cover only two states from the beautiful Seven Sisters. In the future webinars, we will bring out the stories of the other northeastern states. Over to Shreya to take you further.
सभी दर्शकों को मेरा नमस्कार और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ टूरिज्म को बहुत धन्यवाद. It is indeed an honor for me to co-host this session today. Northeast India, the paradise unexplored, has now become a region well connected to the rest of India. Talking of railways, the network to Guwahati is well established with further connections to other regions of Assam, Tripura, Nagaland, and Arunachal Pradesh. Looking at the air connectivity, there are frequent flights to Guwahati from Delhi, Bombay, Kolkata, and many other regions like Jaipur, Hyderabad, Chennai, and so on. Besides, from Assam, Dimapur in Nagaland, Imphal in Manipur, Aizawl in Mizoram, Agartala in Tripura, and Shillong in Meghalaya also have air connectivity. So, as soon as the rail air network opens up, we would welcome you to book your tickets and visit Northeast. Over to you, Mr. Arijit.
Yes, Northeast has never been so closer and traveling is easier now. This region is an experienced and alluring blend of unique culture, rich heritage, inspiring ecotourism systems, diverse flora and fauna, warm hospitality, thrilling adventure. Every location of Northeast India speaks of unity in diversity of the regions. Multicultural, multi-language, multi-religion, multi-cuisine. Over to Shreya to explore our first village.
Our first focus village is Hualkusi, the silk village of Assam, famous for its weaving industry, which is located 35 kilometers from Guwahati. Assam weaving industry produces three unique varieties of silk: the muga, which is the golden silk, the warm eri or the endi, and the pat, which is the white silk. Muga, the golden silk of Assam, is not produced anywhere else in the world. The exquisite motifs in the Mekhela Sadors depict the Assamese culture and tradition and the flora and fauna of the state, which are woven in a variety of colors. As one enters the village, the rhythm of the shuttles of the loom, the tathal, can be heard at each home. It is one of the world's largest weaving villages, with about 74% of the households, nearly 5,000 families in the town engaged in commercial weaving exclusive silk fabrics. In fact, when Mahatma Gandhi visited Assam in 1946, he stated, "Every woman of Assam is a born weaver." Assamese women weave fairy tales in their clothes. Former President of India, late APJ Abdul Kalam, visited Hualkusi in 2006 and was mesmerized with the amazing beauty and the magical weaves. He appreciated the efforts of the talented weavers who have been able to carve out a name in the international sphere. The weaving saga cannot be complete without the silk story, that is, the rearing of the silkworms. The story begins with the female silk moth laying hundreds of eggs. These eggs are stored in the silkworm farmers under the required temperature and humidity. As the eggs hatch, the larvae or the caterpillars are born. The caterpillars are fed in the mulberry tree leaves in the breeding units. As the caterpillars grow and mature, they are kept in the secluded bamboo trays where they spin the cocoons. Once the cocoons are ready and develops, the silk moth is ready to fly out. The unique practice comes here and makes the process known as the ahimsa silk breeding. Unlike many sericulture breeding processes, here the silkworm are not killed in the cocoon stage. In fact, they are safely allowed to transform into the silk moth, and only then the cocoons are further exposed to the sun or boiled to get the silk fiber. These fibers are reeled in special machines to bring out the silk thread. Well, an Assamese woman cannot be kept away from the Mekhala Sador, nor can she be kept away from the jewelry. Assamese jewelry is handmade, which one can witness the making of these exclusive designs in our next village, Ranthuli, located 120 kilometers from Guwahati and about 76 kilometers from the Kaziranga National Park. The traditional Assamese jewelry are exclusive, designs to depict nature, musical instruments, daily life objects of Assam by the jewelry craftsmen who are called the Hunaris. While the main frame is made of silver, gold sheets are also covered on them. Stones like the Dalimia Patthar, which is known locally, which are stone colored compared to the pomegranate seeds, adorn the main designs. Some common designs are the Junburi, which is the half shaped pendant, the Lokaparo, two pigeons placed back to back, Dhulbiri, which is the drum shaped, Dugdugi, the heart shaped, and the Thuria, the flower shape, which I am wearing today.
Shreya,
And
Shreya,
Haro,
can I interrupt? Can you show us some pictures? I think that would make it very interesting. I'm loving it. If you can
yes,
share your screen and show us some pictures,
yes,
that would
yes,
be
yes.
fantastic.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, that
Uh,
would be amazing.
yes, give me just a second.
Take your time, not to worry. Viewers, aren't you fascinated with what Shreya is telling us about? How beautifully the cocoon is built, and then out comes the silk. Yeah, that's amazing. I think Shreya, that would be great if our viewers can see that.
Yes, just a bit of technical
Not
hitch,
an
like.
issue, not an issue. The visuals will bring the delight so much more for all our participants, and I'm sure the women are already gearing up for a shopping trip,
Yes, yes,
and the men must be wanting to save their wallets. So Shreya, if you show the pictures, I'm sure we'll motivate people a bit more.
absolutely.
If it's running, and yeah, I think that's beautiful. So viewers, here is a few pictures which Shreya had planned for you, and are we able to move it?
Not yet. Mr. Arijit, can you try and share your screen?
Maybe Shreya, you can keep talking, and Orijit, if can try his screen. Maybe Shreya, you want to carry on.
Yes, I would. I
Oh,
guess
that's
we are
so
just.
pretty. That's so pretty. That's so pretty.
These are the special Assamese silk breeding, silk centers where the weaving is done with the local women engaged in it, with more than 5,000 families engaged in silk breeding. And then This is the silk story coming back to it from the, this is the stage of laying the eggs.
That's beautiful.
This is how the silk moths are bred with the mulberry, are fed the mulberry leaves. This is how the silk worm, the caterpillar, basically matures. And this is how the cocoons are taken out. And as I said, this is the ahimsa process, where the moth is not killed, but the cocoons, they are allowed to become, the caterpillars are allowed to become moth, and then the cocoons are taken out. This is how the caterpillars bloom after the cocoon.
Shreya, isn't that so much about the philosophy of life itself?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. How life grows, and these
Yes.
moths, from the moths, as the moths grows on, this their cocoon is converted into this silk. This is about our Assamese jewelry, different designs, just wonderful. And this is how the Assamese jewelry is designed.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So typically a set of this kind, Shreya, what would be the budget? Most of our participants are asking about roughly what is the,
Roughly, yeah, it could be starting from 2,500 onwards with smaller version, and it could go on further.
we can buy, I'm sure.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely, it can be bought. Mr. Arijit would like to continue further.
Motifs are indeed exclusive, while the jewelry is so lovely. All the more reason to come to Northeast and get them from the Assamese weavers and craftsmen. Our next village of Assam is Hajo, located 25 kilometers from Guwahati and 15 kilometers from Swalkuchi. Hajo is famous as a pilgrimage center for the Hindus, Buddhists, and Muslims, with the river temple Hayagriva Madhav Temple and the famed mosque Poa Mecca located here. The pond of Hayagriva Madhav Temple has an awe-inspiring conservation tale where the very fact of extinct has been redefined. In 2002, the black soft shell turtle was declared extinct in the wild of International Union for Conservation of Nature. Assam has the highest diversity of turtles, as many as 20 species of turtle, including soft shell and hard shell, many in vulnerable category. NGOs like Help Earth have played a crucial role for preservation and conservation of many numerous vulnerable turtles, including the black soft shell turtle. They provide safe habitat, infrastructure like a breeding area, busking area, and sandy bands in the pond for laying eggs for the turtle. The eggs are collected from the pond bank and put in incubator for rearing them. Once they are ready to be taken back to the pond, religion plays its role. How was this done? Very interesting. Religious practice is taken to the advantage as per the Hindu belief. The turtles are revered as the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Leaving the turtles into the pond as an offering was initiated, and it has worked like magic. Devotees donate turtles into the ponds as offering to the divine and even feed them. This practice has been adopted in many other temple ponds of Assam for the preservation and conservation of highly vulnerable turtles. Hajo also has an exceptional saga of religious harmony. The Hayagrava Madhav temple is visited by the Hindus as a temple of Lord Vishnu and also visited by the Buddhists from eastern Bhutan, which is about 100 kilometers away from Guwahati, as they believe that Lord Buddha attained nirvana here. Also famous here is the Poa Mecca, an ancient mosque, a pilgrimage center for the Muslims built in the preacher by the preacher Giyat Abduddin Aluya. The belief goes that the preacher brought a lump of earth from Mecca and enshrined the same spot where was built at a later period a mosque. Therefore, offering prayers here is marked as gaining poa, that is one fourth spiritual enlightenment that can be attained in the holy land of Mecca. The settlement here too is quite interesting. Adjoining the temple, the village settlement begins with the homes of the Hindus. Immediately bordering these houses are the homes of the Muslim community who engage in the brass making handicraft. Brass is another famous traditional craft of Assam, which is made from blend of brass and iron. Brass metal products are common in Assamese household, and many products are used for religious purpose. Here, the Muslim community makes the brass products, which are further sold by the Hindi community in the market. They have been living in community harmony since ages. Swalkuchi, Hajo, and many other villages which we'll present today are mostly day excursions from Guwahati amidst the exotic countryside of Assam. Over to Shreya.
We need more such stories of unique wildlife conservations. And my next offering will definitely be at the Hayagrava Madhav temple, where I will be offering some turtles. That would be a real blessings. Well, moving on, now we take you to our next village, Dodora, which is located 25 kilometers from Guwahati. The endangered species of the greater adjutant stork, Hargila as it is called in Assamese, finds an exclusive home in Dodora. There are about 1,500 greater adjutant stocks left in the world, and the largest nestling colony is here with about 500 adjutants get a safe haven in this village. The inspiring story of their conservation can be traced to an army. Yes, it is an army which is called the Hargila Army, which is led by the Green Oscar awardee Srimati Purnima Devi Burman. Earlier, when the greater adjutant stocks would take shelter in the trees of this village, mostly in their in the courtyards of the villagers, they would nestle, and their nestling would create a bit of a hassle to the people because in the courtyards got soiled in the process, and as a result they would simply cut away the trees so that the hargilas do not come and nestle there. Srimati Purnima Devi, took the task of bringing in a paradigm shift to this attitude of the villagers, and she took the women into confidence here, and she formed the Hargila army. The women army are now completely, they have adopted the greater adjutant stocks, and the trees are not cut here anymore. In fact, nestling is nurtured here, and safe homes are provided to these Hargilas and are considered as family members. I mean, this is a festivity that you can see where baby shower is being celebrated by the Hargila army, and and they do it with so much of warmth in them. And underneath the trees, as you can see in this current slide, the nets are put on so that if the babies of the Hargilas do fall down, they fall down on these nets and they are saved and they can be protected. And as the Hargila army considers the Hargila as their family, Hargilas are depicted by the village women in the various activities. And as you can see in this current slide, they are take you to my next picture. Now, this is a picture that was taken last week by the Assam police, where they rescued a greater adjutant stork during the ongoing lockdown. This picture needs no further description. Over to you, Mr. Rijit.
The greater adjutant stocks need our efforts to survive, and we should support the Hargila army. Moving on, let's explore Satyabari village located 80 kilometers from Guwahati. This quaint village is famed for producing the bell metal, or ka in Assamese, is the second largest handicraft industry in Assam after bamboo industry. Bell metal is an alloy of copper and tin, and objects are commonly used in an Assamese household and for religious purposes. This craft form originated in the 7th century AD, dating back to the kings of the Varman dynasty. Later, during the Ahom rule, which reigned in Assam for more than 600 years, the industry was established and car production of Satyabari flourished. In modern Satyabari too, the hammering sounds on the metal can be heard from quite a distance. The common objects made by the artisans in Satyabari are water pots, that is kolo in Assamese, horai, a platter or tray mounted on a base, kahi, dish, bati, a bowl, lota, water sports with long neck, and tal symbols. Now, the symbols have been in use since the very ancient time and are used across all major temples and Buddhist sites. In fact, Assam tal or symbols is mostly used in religious gatherings. It also used in Nagaranam, type of spiritual musical drama in Assam, and in Bihu dance. In other parts of India, symbols have been used since the very ancient times and are still used across almost all major temples and Buddhist sites. In Bhutan, symbols are called pusang. From Satyabari, symbols are exported to the monasteries to different parts of the world. Bell metal dishes and glasses are used in Assamese homes for consuming food and water for its medicinal properties. Shreya will take you to another destination.
Well, I'm sure our viewers are really excited to purchase some of those lovely bell metal products when they visit Assam. Each journey of Assam showcases the villages, shows us not only the unique community engagement, but also locals, offers them drive through these lovely paddy fields and the magnificent landscapes of Assam. Moving forward, we come to Nolbari area of Lower Assam, where we have a cluster of village connected with a common link, and this link is community-based employment for the production of the famous Japi of Assam. These three villages are within 80-kilometer radius of Guwahati. Kind of an excursion can be covered in a day's excursion. Now, these conical hats of Assam, or the Japi, was historically used by farmers in the fields to protect them from the sun. Today, the colorfully decorated Japi has become a mark of respect for us cultural and it marks the cultural symbol. We offer Japi as a mask of mark of respect to welcome a person. The unique Japi of Assam's marks the Assam's festivity. It is a part of every Assam festivity, especially during the Bihu festival, which is very, very significant for us. Stages are decorated, guests are welcome. Bihu dance and the Bihu dance cannot be complete without the Japi. Japi has also become an important souvenir of Assam, which tourists take back as memories when they come here. Well, our Rongali Bihu and the New Year was just held on the 14th and 15th of April this year, but unfortunately, because of the current situations, we could not celebrate it, and this has happened after a gap of 128 years, first time in 128 years. Well, anyways, the production is a community-based engagement and Japi is made from the woven bamboo, cane, and the toko part or the palm leaves, as it is called here. The palm leaves are grown at each courtyards of the houses, and they are dried before they can be used. Bamboo and cane is cut to shape for weaving of these intricate designs. The finished products are sent all over the world. Mr. Arijit will take you to another interesting village.
Well, Shreya, let's not be disheartened. We will surely welcome a lot of tourists for our next Bihu. January, Mag Bihu, which marks the end of harvesting season. The festival is marked by feasts and bonfires, and Rangali Bihu marks the beginning of the Assamese New Year. It usually falls in the second week of April, historically signifying the time of harvest. Moving on, Assam is a wildlife mega hub, and there are 5 national parks and 20 wildlife sanctuaries. Employment in these regions are based on wildlife activities like guiding, safaris, tourist accommodations, and water sports. Here we look at one such village, Basbari, located 140 kilometers from Guwahati, bordering Bhutan foothills. Basbari encompasses the UNESCO Natural World Heritage Site, Manas, a tiger reserve, which is a habitat of numerous flora and rich wildlife, many of which are endangered and vulnerable. The villages have developed homestays, and resorts also are there to welcome tourists. The guides and safari divers are naturalists with exquisite knowledge of the flora and fauna found in the national park. Activities like rafting and trekking are offered to tourists with the local guides, providing exclusive experience. And best season to visit the park is from November to April. Remember, November to April. Promoting responsible tourism in this region is crucial for the coexistence of human and nature balanced ecosystem. These journeys are opportunities to witness the beauty of the region, with people engaging their work and nature creating its masterpiece. Over to Shreya.
A safari in one of those lovely national parks, so thrilling, and the views are just awesome. Well, visualize yourself in a tea plantation on a springly scanted dusk, seated on the veranda with a cup of tea in a tea garden bungalow. Well, and it's just the beauty and it's just the emerald views around you. Well, that is what it is. Our next destination, which is a culture, which is a cluster of multi ethnic community, the tea tribes employed in the tea industry, Assam's largest industry. The various tea gardens have opened their doors now to tourists to experience the British era tea garden charm. Balipara near Tejpur, Jorhat and Dibrugarh have exclusive tea garden bungalows for tourists. Balipara is connected to Guwahati with a 4-hour drive, while Jorhat and Dibrugarh have their own airports and they can be connected from Guwahati as well. The tea tribe community settled in Assam in 1800s, which were brought in by the Britishers as laborers to work in the plantations. Belonging to the present day Jharkhand, Orissa, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, they have a multi ethnic group. Their festivals, their music, their dance, their culture dominate the tea plantations. And Jhumur is a popular folk dance of the community. And as one takes a peek into these tea gardens, they cannot miss this festivity. So if you come during the season time, and it can be also arranged this lovely Jhumur dances, right? And as you enter the factories, you get the first hand knowledge of how tea is made. You can learn the art of tea tasting from the masters. And a fascinating story begins where the fascinating story begins from the bushes right up into your cup, the teacup that you drink. And yes, and Assam is one of the most prolific tea production regions in the world and generally harvested twice. One is the first flush and the other is the second flush. The first flush is picked during the late March. The second flush is harvested later, which is more price tippy tea and named thus for the gold tips that appear on the leaves. And Tipiti is sweeter and it is more full body, it is fuller and it is considered superior as well. Assam tea season is from November to April. And as the visitor relives the era, one cannot miss the tea tribe communities inhabiting in these little tea gardens, where you can click pictures of yourself or the tea garden workers. Now, this picture, which will be on your screen, yes, it shows the changing dimensions of creating memories. With the tea workers becoming technology savvy nowadays, the women not only give photographs of them plucking tea leaves, the two leaves and the bud, they also take pictures of the tourists and for their own archives. That is how times change and times are changing. Mr. Arijit will take you to another unique village.
Star in Assamese. This is chai. I request our viewers to begin with the day with a cup of Assam tea. You will feel the health benefits. Now, we bring to you one of the largest river island of the world, Majuli, which is situated in the midst of river Brahmaputra. To go to Majuli, one has to reach Nimati Ghat, which is about 18 kilometers from Jorhat by road, and then take a ferry of about 45 minutes to 1 hour on river Brahmaputra. Majuli is hub of Assamese Neo-Vaishnavite culture, initiated around 15th century by revered Assamese saint Srimanta Sankar Dev. It is known as the cradle of Assamese civilization. The numerous Vaishnavite satras and monasteries depicts Assamese culture and heritage. Also, unique to the island is the art of mask making, a traditional craft only found here, especially in Samogari Satra. These masks are integral part of the Satra culture. Made of clay, bamboo, cloth, etc., they are lightweight and depict characters of the Mahabharata, Ramayana, and Puranas. Accommodation in a mission travel village in Majuli is once in a lifetime experience where tourists can stay in a changhar, houses built with raised bamboo platforms. Mishings are tribal populace of the state of Assam. They mostly live near the river. The tribesmen are mostly engaged in agriculture and handloom works. In Majuli, one can witness the unique Gurukul system existing till date. The Guru Shishya Parampara forms a strong bastion in this island. The Satriya prayer dance, the eight classical dance of India performed by the monks, is another attraction of these exclusive villages. One can also witness the Mati Akhora dance for young children, comprising of the basic exercise patterns and dances poses, which is a preparatory stage and foundation to Satriya dance. In recent years, we have been making efforts to connect borders. Now, moving from Majuli, Assam has a unique connection to Thailand since ages, which has contributed to the diverse and rich Assamese culture. The Namphake village, located 40 kilometers from Dibrugarh, is a beautiful Taifake village. The Buddhist community have their origin from Thailand and speak a dialect similar to Thai language and still follows customs and traditions of the Thai days. The community is believed to have entered Assam in the 18th century. Located at the banks of the Buriding River, the Buddhist monastery in Namphake is one of the oldest monasteries of Assam. One can experience the Taifake way of life in this village. Over to Shreya.
Well, thank you, Mr. Arijit. We have attempted to present the abundant variety of cultures and the heritage of Assam in the feature villages. However, Assam is more diverse. In fact, Northeast is not even touched in these presentations. Entire other five states of Northeast are not even touched. But in this webinar, we have not included many of the Northeastern, other Northeastern states, and we have not also included the major hotspot tourist destinations of Assam, like the Kaziranga National Park, because our focus today is on the lesser known villages. But we hope to highlight them as soon as we get more opportunities. Moving ahead, we present to you Meghalaya, the second exotic state in our list today. Meghalaya needs no introduction in the tourism map with its beautiful destinations. Meghalaya is swaddled amidst the mists and the aptly called the abode of the clouds. It is one of India's prettiest states, and having split away from Assam in 1970, it is inhabited by the Khasis, the Jaintias, and the Garo community. Standing out amongst the other northeastern states, not just for the natural beauty, Meghalaya is also known for this unique matrilineal society which governs lineage and ancestor through inheritance through the female line. In other words, the daughter inherits property from her mother. So the regular bidai ceremony in Meghalaya is for the men and not the women. So the best season to visit Meghalaya is between October to April, and the monsoons from May to September offers wonderful experience of getting drenched in this wettest place on earth, that is in Cherrapunji and various other locations as well. So it's a 12-month season in Meghalaya. You just need to book your tickets, fly, and be there. It's as simple as that. Mr. Arijit will uncover the next village of Meghalaya.
Well, talking of women empowerment in Meghalaya, well, let me add the entire Northeast India is a dowry free region. Isn't it interesting? Moving to Moflong. Our next village is Moflong, located 25 kilometers from Shillong. The beautiful valley is a sight to behold. Moflong is famed for its sacred forest, a nature's own museum with a treasure trove of unique flora which is seldom seen in other parts of the world. The sacred groves, revered as and preserved by local Khasis communities, has the megaliths believed to be 500 years old. There are many traditional beliefs and legends about the sacred forest. The Khasi tribes protect the forest from encroachment and harm of any kind. In this forest, cutting trees, plucking flowers, fruits, twigs are not allowed, and as the community strongly believes that the deity would get offended if the forests are disturbed, causing doom. These large tracts of untouched virgin forests have created a rich ecosystem and a diverse gene pool of many forest species, besides being home to many birds and mammals. Close to the amazing sacred groves is the David Scott Trail, a trekking zone amidst beautiful Meghalayan landscape as one walks through streams, rocks, forests, and local villages. The views of the Umiam Lake, Moflong Dam, and the waterfalls, mainly during monsoon, are mesmerizing. Named after the British administrator David Scott, the David Scott Trail is one of the oldest trekking routes in Meghalaya. This route was originally more than 100 kilometers long and included East Pakistan or present Bangladesh. Now it is reduced to 16 kilometers and takes 4 hours to complete the trek. Here, I would like to share a little story. Local traditions play a role at every step in the village. During trekking excursions, one of tourists sprained her leg. The local guide immediately arranged for co-kit brew, the basket normally used to carry old or sick people in Meghalaya. There are many such tales. Will Shreya sing a song now?
Oh, well, my name is Shreya, but if I was from the Kongkong village, I could be called. Yes, it is the whistling village where each villager has a name which is whistled. When a child is born, a mother gives a name, a whistling name, a tradition which has been followed since ages now. And this village is inhabited by about 700 villagers who lead a simple life and are immersed in their own customs and traditions. And it is located simply 55 kilometers from Shillong. So, in your next visit, do go to Whistling Village and try and get a name for yourself, a whistle name for yourself. Well, that keeps me wondering, wouldn't it be exciting to call Arijit Da with a lovely whistle?
That's Shreya. Coming to our next village is Jakrem, 65 kilometers from Shillong, famed for the sulfur hot water springs with medicinal properties and has the potential of becoming an exotic destination. The local people of Meghalaya grow fruits and vegetables, and villagers in Jakrem too engage in farming. Here they grow a famous nitrogen fixing with tuberous roots, the softland. They are roots sized at about 60 centimeters, are highly prized vegetable in Meghalaya for its nutritional and medical value. There are numerous legendary tales in Meghalaya, and most of the deities are objects from nature. One such tale in Jakrem is that of the huge red granite that's on your screen, dome-shaped rock of Lung Kilang and Saifa Lung. Saifa Kilang is located 12 kilometers from Mairang and covers an area of 1,000 feet and stands at a height of 5,400 feet above sea level. The majestic views from the rock is a must visit. Jokran is also famous for adventure activities like rafting, hiking, and cycling. Now over to Shreya.
Well, an adventure in the mesmerizing valleys of Meghalaya. Wow, I am going as soon as I am allowed to. Well, we have seen weaving fabrics. We know about cane and bamboo weaving, but do you know there is a community in Meghalaya which weaves roots of the trees to form bridges? Yes, that it is amazing, isn't it? And yes, this brings us to our next village where they build single decker or even double decker living root bridges. That is Nongriat for you. The bridges are tangles of massive thick roots which the local people intertwine to form bridges that can hold several people at a time. The root bridges may be over 100 feet long and take about 10 to 15 years to become fully functional, and they become very strong in the process. The bridges live and keep growing and strengthening over time. The useful lifespan of a bridge is said to be about 500 to 600 years. To reach this remote village, one has to drive 13 kilometers from Cherrapunji and begin a trek 3 to 4 hours, which involves about 3,000 steps covering only 4 kilometers. No vehicle can reach Nongriat. The route follows the jungle paths through the lovely hills, the springs, the turquoise blue waters, these suspension bridges, colorful butterflies gleaming along. You will come across a single decker bridge first and then the double decker bridge. And from Nongriat, you may continue to trek to the Rainbow Falls, which is another 3 kilometers and takes about 1.5 hours time. The stay in Nongriat is very basic, but you can always make it a day trip from Cherrapunji, where up to luxury properties are available. And this day trip can be done if you go only up to the double decker bridge, not to the Rainbow Falls. And yes, Mr. Arijit will take you to another story of crystal clear rivers.
Well, when there are no roads, build bridges. Meghalaya shows us how. If you compare our next village to some sort of paradise, the village of the turquoise blue water Shangpideng, the famous Umnat rivers flow through this village in West Jaintia Hills. Umnat River is famed for its crystal clear water, so clear that when seen from above, it appears as if, or from distance, it appears that boat is floating in midair. The Umnat River is the natural boundary between Ripinar or Jaintia Hills with Himakirim of Khasi Hills, over which a single span suspension bridges was constructed. This is also gateway to Bangladesh. Shangpidang offers water sports activities like fishing, kayaking, and snorkeling. The villagers have opened basic homestays and tents for camping. In fact, they're nice tents, you know. The acts as a guide for tourists to explore the river and enjoy the water sports activities. Snong is about 11 kilometers from Dauki, bordering of Bangladesh, and about 90 kilometers from Shillong. An excursion from Shillong or Cherrapunji could be possible, and very close to Maulilang, which we are not covered this in this session. As we all know, Maulilang is famous for the cleanest village in Asia. Serene, untouched, stunning. That's Shangspidang awaiting for you to visit. Shea has another village to explore.
Floating mid-air, well, it seems a reality in Meghalaya. Again, I must visit again. Okay, our next village is Joai, which is located 60 kilometers from Shillong. It is a plateau surrounded on three sides by the Mitudu River, bordering Bangladesh and inhabited by the Knar tribes. The Nartyang monoliths of Joai are a cluster of monoliths which stand as a testimony of the Jaintia rulers' strength. They were erected to glorify their rule. Carved from single stones, they are the tallest monoliths in the world. And the tallest monolith in this cluster is the Mu Long Siem, which is 8 meters in height. The monoliths are believed to belong to the Stone Age and were erected in Nartyang between 1500 AD to 1835 AD during the reign of the Jaintia rulers. Close by is the Nartyang Durga temple, that is a 500-year-old temple. It is one of the 51 Shakti Peeths of the Hindu mythology. Now, significantly, the religious rituals that are followed here do not belong to the normal conventional way as in the plains, but they are a unique blend of Hindu and Khasi traditions. So there's a different way of performing their pujas. Our trip to Juai remains incomplete without a visit to the Krangshuri Falls, the magical falls, the breathtaking views of the waterfalls, and the natural swimming pool where you can actually take a dip and you can dive down into these in this natural waterfalls. It's just a tourist's delight. Well, Mr. Arijit has a market day story for you.
Well, the Natyang monoliths are one of a kind in the world. Let me bring you the magic of a market day in Sohara. Sohara is Cherrapunji. Market day is a weekly market day, is something to experience by the discerning tourists. The big market day, or Ibua as it is called locally, takes place only once in 8 days. If the market day Ibua falls on Monday, the next market day will be Tuesday. The advent of Christianity has brought some modification to this rule to enable people to devote Sunday to attend these market days. You can see Cherrapunji come alive on Ibua with bazaar buses and taxis disgorging loads of people from all surrounding villages. Ibua offers a tourist an opportunity to get a feel of the rural Khasis way of life and culture. About 10 years back, the ambassador taxis ordinary meant for 6 people, including driver, had people packed up to 12 or more from villages. They come to sell their household goods. Now, sumo or similar vehicles meant for 8 people accommodate up to 20 people or more. The market has different department for meat, fish, dry fish, chicken, vegetables, fruits, bamboo baskets, iron implements for agriculture, construction work, and home uses. beaten rice, bakery products, spices, textiles, ready-made garments, furniture. Market day in Cherrapunji is the when all the offices and extension services are full attendance of their staff. People having work at these offices can often time to meet the other people in the market day. It's a busy day for everyone, including the medical personnel, pregnant women, mothers with babies, young and old patients. It's not just a marketplace to buy and sell product alone, but it's a socializing event. When the sky opens up in torrents, which often is the case during the monsoon months, the milling crowd from Sahara town and villages all around can be seen scurrying around with traditional shield kunup or all type of umbrellas of different colors. For many, a sip of the locally brewed rice beer caps hectic day or from a branded liquor shop. Quite a funny name. Drink a little wine shop. Shreya will now narrate a regular day in Cherrapunji, that is Sohara.
Shreya, we'll need to do that really quick because we have a couple of questions which we would like to take. So can you just, I'm sure there's so much more you want to say, but a very quick one.
It very quick. Yes, we have read about a rainy day in school. Well, in Cherrapunji, you can actually experience this. Where here, an umbrella does little help in Shohra because during the main rainy days, because the rain comes down sideways due to the high winds. Many Cherrapunjians use two sets of clothes, wet and dry. When they come home, they change out of the wet clothes and go into the dry ones and then change back to the wet ones when they are out. For a brief moment when the sun is out, the clothes are hanged everywhere in every possible place, on the colored stones, on the plants, on hedges, everywhere. Over to you, Mr. Rijit.
Just a quick one. Friends, brace yourself and step out to the world of experience. The world of Northeast of India and discover the unique traditions, grand cultural heritage, adorn the scenic beauty, natural delights, crafts and sports. Home to one of the finest indigenous cuisine, the Northeast is truly the custodian of a rich and ancient food culture. In fact, a traditional meal in Assam begins with khar, a pulpy vegetable curry made from dried banana peel, and ends with a tenga, a sir curry made with dal or fish popularly known as masor tenga, tangy fish curry. In Meghalaya, the tribes love sesame seeds, dried fish, or boiled meat. Popular Khasi dishes include jado. But vegetarian tourists need not worry to visit Northeast. Variety of vegetarian meals are available in all places of Northeast since they are preferred not only by Indian tourists but also these days by the foreign tourists. Come to Northeast India, only the sun is warmer than our welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. They say that a mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions. I'm not going to go back to where I started at 11 a.m. I think I'm a different person at 12 noon. So much beauty, so much pristine beauty. Looking at the Phnom Pedong lake, I mean, gosh, the clarity of the water. There's just so much to see, in fact, from the questions that we've been getting, and I'm afraid we're not going to be left with much time. But two or three very quick observations, which either of you will respond. A lot of people remind us of a great warrior from the land of Assam, Lachit Barphukan, and his times. He was viewers. He was a commander, and also he is known for his leadership in the 1671 Battle of Saraighat between the Ahom Kingdom and the Mughal forces. People have asked that can we not build a trail around him? People have asked that can we not have a trail around the jewelry tours, the tea gardens, handicrafts of Nalbari. So lots of ideas coming, and I'm sure our panelists will look into all the suggestions that have been coming. But Arichi, a quick word from you on what are you going to do about showcasing your beautiful part of our country to everybody else to come and see? A quick word from you on that.
So that is what people what they like to experience our area because this is not for the tourists, it's for the travelers. We cannot say that we'll show today this or this. Every day things are changing, and that is what people love for, and especially for the it's a paradise for photographers, for the wildlife, first for bird watchers, and it could be a 12-month season.
Thank you. And Shreya, something from you. How can the people plan their tours? They want to know how many days, how many minimum days, where to stay. How do you want to send this information out to all those people who want to visit your beautiful land?
Well, yes, visiting Northeast, it could start with 5 days, end up within 20, 30 days, So Northeast, what we say, come back again and again and again, you never have enough of Northeast at all. So I am yet to visit a lot of destinations in Northeast, right? And a lot many promotional products. We are all the tour operators here are promoting. We are doing joint promotions. We are doing campaigns together, and so many options available. So keep watching for the spaces, keep watching for updates on Northeast India, keep watching our YouTube channels that we have, individual tour operators have, and the social media handles, and of course the travel fairs which we visit every now and then throughout the country. That those are the best places where a tour operator can get the knowledge, as well as for the tourists. Just follow the ministry websites, and follow the travel agents. We on our social handles and our promotional campaigns websites, that is the best place, and lot many products, ranging from hundreds of them to northeast.
Well, thank you. And so, once again, viewers, it's been a beautiful journey, and we look forward to visiting virtually now and actually when the lockdown is behind us and COVID is also behind us. In the meantime, of course, as always say, satark rahiye, swasth rahiye. But also remember, tomorrow we were thinking, why should we not do something? It's a weekend. And since you can sleep after a heavy meal in the morning, so at 11 a.m. tomorrow, we are bringing to you cuisine from the land of Awadh, Awadhi cuisine. So some biryanis and kebabs, but then that can never be complete without the chaat and everything else that comes from the beautiful city of Lucknow. So viewers, tomorrow tune in at 11 a.m. and walk with us in the lanes of Lucknow as we take you through the Pehle Aap culture of Lucknow. But for now, for today, a warm namaskar and also Kublai. And have a good day. Stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you, Shreya. Thank you, Arijit. And we're going to bring many more things from Northeast. So, viewers, stay tuned. Keep encouraging us. Namaskar.
आप बोलेंगे तभी मैं विश्वास किया था थैंक यू सर यू आर द फर्स्ट वन टू कॉम्प्लीमेंट मी एंड आई विल गिव यू दिस